Hello everyone, welcome back to another challenge video. As you can see by the screen, this is going to be a little bit different than the last two I've done. Today we are playing the Singularity, but through the view of his broken TV screen. This challenge ends when I get a 4K, so without wasting any time, let's hop into it. For our first match, we load into the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza map. I'm pretty sure you've already spotted why this challenge is so difficult, as in maps with low light, such as this one, I'm essentially blind, so I'll have to be relying on scratch marks and aura reading, but as you will soon see, this doesn't really go well. Getting into our first chase, I don't even know who I'm chasing, or if I'm chasing someone. The only reason I spot this survivor here is because I see the gold auric charm on their hip, but as you can soon see, I guess they don't like what I'm doing, as they quickly disconnect. Regardless though, taking any downs I can get, this technically secures me my first down and hook of the match. Getting our first hook of the match, I decide to fuck off elsewhere. Even though I still can't really see, I have developed one strategy that's going to help me. Chasing literally every possible sound I hear, like a monster out of the quiet place.
No longer useful.
After hearing her grunting and following her based off of that and her scratch marks, we end up with our second hook of the match. Although it is on a bot, that still counts. After getting our hook and as I started walking away, I could have sworn I seen a survivor run by. This causes me to swing into the generator, but I do pick up another trail of scratch marks. Hearing the vault, I look inside of the shack, and now I can clearly see the outline of what appears to be a Dwight. I try to use my biopod here, and surprisingly, he doesn't run away.
Nope.
Notice how I essentially fully lost the Dwight until I heard the pallet drop. This only emphasizes how hard the challenge is gonna be, and this loop quickly makes you realize it.
Where are you going?
Duck this one! Perfect destruction.
Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
As I get my hook on the Dwight, I just want to casually point out that the only reason I know where I'm going is from the few places that are lighted up, and just memory of the map. This memory is what will carry me heavily, but there's going to be certain moments where you see that it doesn't help, especially in areas where it just looks like I'm walking around blind. Notice here how I essentially just lost whoever I was chasing. I can hear them vaulting, but I don't know where they went. It is very hard for me to see here, and at some point, I just give up on the chase. As I'm walking around blindly, I just managed to get a hit on the bill randomly. You may be wondering how I know it's the bill. Let's be honest, he's the only one that sounds like that. Notice here, I thought I was chasing the bill, but from the sounds of who I hit, I somehow switched targets to the Dwight, and I don't even know how that happened. I don't even know where the bill went. Seeing some scratch marks, I start chasing this like a bloodhound. Eventually, while running, I notice the silhouette of a survivor, and I decide to go for a swing. I somehow actually land this swing, but then I kinda lose them. I'm literally only following the scratch marks, and I can't even see their silhouette anymore. Eventually though, I do end up getting the down, and I secure myself another hook in this match. This is very surprising considering I can't even see 2 feet in front of me, and let alone in a dark area where I'm definitely blind. As I secure myself this hook, some of you may notice that I've essentially just been playing the Singularity like an M1 killer. I haven't really been using his power, and there's a good reason for that. This is my second time ever really touching the Singularity, and I can't really learn his power when it looks like I'm watching the very first video of Pong. This Dwight tried getting me with some locker tech. Regardless, this 1,000-year-old AI still hunts survivors the old-fashioned way, and I get myself another hit. Notice once again how I essentially just lost him. As I'm walking through the abyss here, take notice how the only reason I knew there was a survivor here was I heard his grunt of pain. Following his scratch marks, I realize he is in the shed. I start to begin the chase, but I somehow lose him really quickly. Finding the survivor once more, I try using a biopod before realizing I already have one in there. But he manages to run out at the last second, and I lose him completely. After having my own heart jump out of my ass, I managed to secure us a down on the bill. And it's at this point I'm realizing this really feels like I'm just playing LiDAR. I'm 90% sure I just saw a ghost, so going in to investigate, I start following the scratch marks. But for some reason, I can't find anyone that it leads to. Probably because I can't see them because it's pitch black, but I eventually end up giving up on the chase and going to look elsewhere. After wandering around, I find some scratch marks to start following, and notice how Cheryl peeks in the light for just a few seconds. This is enough for me to get her trail, and I manage to secure a hit on her, which is honestly surprising.
Gene secured.
As I hook the Cheryl, I start looking around as the final generator has popped. I need to think of an exit game plan, but I don't really have one. I end up just shooting my biopods near the exit gate and hoping for the best, but at this point, there's not really anything that can save this match. I'm 90% sure there's a survivor in this exit gate. I just cannot see them. But considering someone escapes when I push forward, I'm going to assume I was somewhat correct. Going back to the biopods, I realize I have no idea where the last survivor is, and I'm just gonna have to accept this game as a total loss. Loading into our second match, we load into the Dead Dog Saloon. As you can see, it's somewhat better than the FNAF map, but I am still unable to see anything related to the ground. Thankfully, Dead Dog Saloon takes place at dawn, meaning there's enough light in the sky for me to make my way around the map without looking like an idiot. I'm not going to lie to you though. Half of this match is me wandering the four corner points of the map like a Skyrim NPC, trying to find a survivor. I'll try to edit the video in a way where it's not just complete silence while walking around, but this match is going to be a little bit shorter. Following the survivor's scratch marks, I am really lucky that they decide to keep dropping pallets. Not only because the noise alerts me to where they are, but as you can see, I lose them a lot here. Having already lost the survivor, I give up the chase and just put a biopod down instead. Now there's something I should mention about this match. I'm 90% sure around halfway through, they catch on to the fact that I am blind. Here you will see soon, is that some of them start pushing the limits of what they can get away with. One of these examples here is as I go up these stairs, one of the survivors was trailing behind me. But I don't really know if they knew if I was blind, because they weren't friendly after. Unfortunately for them though, I'm doing a challenge video, and I can't see shit. meaning I don't have time to spare to be friendly. I gotta get these kills by any means. So throwing them on the butcher hook, we get our first hook of the match. After walking around for a bit, I finally get a hit on Dwight. He doesn't move, however, so I just take the knockdown.
Your genes need minor modifications.
Giving a friendly reminder not to be a hero, I hit a survivor who was unhooking Dwight. Staying on their trail, this is when you can notice something. Some parts of the map look almost pitch black if it wasn't for the aura of things around me. Losing the survivor though, I decide to break a pallet, and I thought I found them here. But I'm pretty sure this was one of the survivors that just got unhooked, and they begged for mercy. Unfortunately, this is a challenge run that I'm kinda having difficulties doing, so instead, I'm gonna take my Mori. I'm sorry, little one.
It will be fast, possibly painless. Die fast, please. It is over.
Getting our first kill of the run, I feel almost invincible. Especially since I got a kill in conditions where I'm essentially blind. Albeit, yes, they did try to beg for mercy, but there's a small price to pay for salvation, and that's counting the kill anyway.
This is better.
This is what I mean they were testing how much they could get away with, because the Dwight randomly decided running into me was a good idea. Either way, we get the down on him and the injure on the other survivor. So luckily, I guess I get another hook.
You should thank me for this.
As I walk around in pursuit for finding other survivors, I have something that I think is important to mention. I was on call with one of my friends while in this match, and we were talking about if Uncle Ruckus has a higher FOV or not, considering he has an eye pushed out. My argument was, if anything, his FOV is lower, since if his eye's pushed out, he's technically getting a closer look at anything. Let me know what your thoughts on this is, because I'm 90% sure I'm right on this case. Regardless, we end up getting another hook, and this is already going so much better than the first match. I want to point out, that sped up clip you just saw was in 400% speed. I wasn't lying to you when I said the majority of this match was me walking around like a Skyrim NPC. By the kind acts of the 9 Divines, I hit a bullshit shot and managed to get myself another down. But this is where you'll quickly realize I'm unable to actually hook her. Mainly because I kinda lost where all the hooks went, and she struggled free. This is definitely because I can hardly see shit, and this made me lose a bit of hope in the challenge. Getting a hook on another survivor, you'd think the logical thing would be their friend would go and unhook them. Well, that's not what happens. I'm going to speed up the clip so it's not 1,000 hours long, but I end up walking around the entire map multiple times, and they just decide to let their friend die on that hook. You saw and heard that correct. They have let their teammate hang and die on that hook. But this unfortunately opens a bigger can of worms, as I still need to find them. And considering the Dead Dog Saloon feels like the biggest map ever when you can hardly see your own hand, I knew this was gonna be a challenge. So instead of going to find the survivor first, I decided to walk around the entire map, hoping that I would at least hear the hatch somewhere. I want to point out, if they instead just crouched and stayed there, I would have probably never found them. But regardless, as we secure our final Mori and our final kill of the challenge, we prove that yes, it is indeed possible to beat a trial of Dead by Daylight while using lore-accurate Singularity vision. If you've enjoyed this content, I know I haven't, consider subscribing, as I do plan on doing more. By the way, I have tried to cut down on the bits in this video, as I don't really know if you guys prefer me being talkative, or if you just prefer seeing the funny bits. That is up for you to decide in the comments, and until then, you should probably go to sleep.